Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Nandana Chaitanya Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Prabhupada ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
I have to over here. Jai Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Hare Krishna, dear devotees, it's a great privilege to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada ki Jai. It's a great privilege and honor to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita in the association of great devotees like all of you. So today we are reading from chapter 11 and which is describing the associates of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And we are reading today from text 22 and 23. Just two verses. I think it's available here. Raghunatha Buddha Upadhyaya Mahashay Jahar. We will recite 23 together. Jahar Darshane Krishna Prema Bhakti Hai. The translation goes, the physician Raghunath, also known as Upadhyaya, who so great a devotee that simply seeing him would awaken one's dormant love of Godhead. Text 23. Sundarananda Nityanande Shakha Vritta Marma
Sundarananda Nityananda Shakha Vritta.
Jar Sange Nityananda Kare Braja Narma
Chandra Sange Nityananda Kare Raja Narma.
Sundarananda Nityanande Shakha Vritta Marma
Sundarananda Nityananda Shakha Vritta Marma.
Jar Sange Nityananda Kare Braja Narma
Chandra Sange Nityananda Kare Raja Narma.
Sundarananda Nityanande Shakha Vritta Marma
Sundarananda Nityananda Shakha Vritta Marma.
Jar Sange Nityananda Kare Braja Narma
Chandra Sange Nityananda Kare Raja Narma.
Synonym what way what? Sundarananda.
With a triple.
Okay, please recite.
Up to you.
Time-wise, it's short.
Okay.
It's okay?
Keep this longer.
Okay.
Sundarananda,
Sundarananda.
of the name Sundarananda,
Of the name Sundarananda.
Nityanandir Sakha,
Nityananda Shaka.
a branch of Nityananda Prabhu,
Branch of Nityananda Prabhu.
Britta Marma,
Britya Marma.
very intimate servant,
Very intimate servant.
Jar Sange,
Yasha Sange.
with whom
With whom?
Nityananda,
Nityananda.
Lord Nityananda,
Nityananda.
Kare,
Kare.
performs
Performs.
Brajanarma,
Rajanarma.
activities of Vrindavan.
Activities of Vrindavan.
Translation goes, Sundarananda, another branch of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, was Lord Nityananda's most intimate servant. Lord Nityananda Prabhu perceived the life of Brajabhumi in his company. Purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
In the Chaitanya Bhagavata ADI-LILA, chapter 6, it is stated that Sundarananda was an ocean of love of Godhead and the chief associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaur Ganadhesh Dipika, he is stated to have been Sudama in Krishna Lila. Thus, he was one of the 12 cowherd boys who came down with Balaram when he descended as Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The holy place where Sundarananda lived is situated in the village known as Maheshpura, which is about 14 miles east of the Majadia railway station of the Eastern Railway from Kolkata to Birdhan. Birdhan?
Burdwan.
Burdhan. This place is within the district of Jashore, which is now in Bangladesh. Among the relics of this village, only the old residential house of Sundarananda still exists. At the end of the village resides a Baul, Pseudo Vaishnava. And all the buildings, both the temples and house, appear to be newly constructed. In Maheshpura, there are deities of Sri Radha Vallabha and Sri Radha Ramana. Near the temple is a small river of the name Betravati. Sundarananda Prabhu was a Nashik brahmachari. He never married in his life. Therefore, he had no direct descendant except his disciples, but the descendants of his family still reside in the village known as Mangaladihi in the district of Birbhum. In that same village is a temple of Balaram, and the deity was regularly worshipped. The original deity at Maheshpura, Radha Vallabha, was taken by the Sayadavad Goswamis of Birampur, and since the present deities are installed, a Jamindar family of Maheshpura has looked after their worship. On the full moon day of the month Magha, January to February, the anniversary of Sundarananda's disappearance is regularly celebrated, and people from the neighboring areas gather together to observe this festival. Here is the end of the Srila Prabhupada's translation, purport. Om Aggana Timiranda Shukena Anjana Salakaya
Chudmitam Yena Tasmai Shri
Shri
Gurave Namaha
Shri Chaitanya Manavistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sam Rupakadamayam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Jitavada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Shagram Tatam Sagana Saguntranitam Tam Shriva Sadhuitam Sadhuam Sabhadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Zirada Krishna Padana Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakharnitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopashapika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vaneshwari Vishwani Shuddhadevi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakapataru Vasha Kripasindhu Begacha Ditanam Pavanabha Vishnavu Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Nityananda Prabhu Ki
Jai.
Yeah, actually, from the very beginning in the morning, I was just thinking about special Leela of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. He has manifested so nice Leelas in his pastimes from his very early childhood. So, especially if you read the Chaitanya Bhagavat, you will find so magnific Leelas of Sri Nityananda Prabhu from his childhood. Sometimes he was doing the drama of the pastimes of Lord Rama. And sometimes he was doing the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And in one of the Leela, it's so nice, he was doing the pastimes of the Krishna as his early childhood with Putana. So it is mentioned there, Kono shishu shajiyache Putanar rupe kehustan pan kare utitar buke. One child, he has appeared, he has decorated himself like Putana. And the another child, he was getting up on the chest of this woman and taking the breast of her. So it was so nice Leelas are happening. And sometime he was doing the Leela of the pastimes of the Lord Rama. And one day, so one child, he is acting as who was the son of the Ravana, was very prominent and strong. Meghnad. So Indrajit, Meghnad. So Indrajit, one was playing the role of Indrajit, and Nityananda Prabhu was playing the role of Lakshmana. So when Indrajit through the Shakti shell, the most powerful weapon he belongs to. So then Lakshmanera bhave Prabhu hai achitan. In the mood of the Lakshmana, Nityananda Prabhu, he got unconsciousness. And before organizing this pastime, he told all of the children, so when I will got unconscious, one of you will play the role of Hanuman, and you will collect some leaves from nearby jungle, and you take the leaves and you smash it, and you give this smell to my nose, then I will wake up. So as the Leelas is proceeding, so Lord Nityananda, when Meghnad threw his Shakti shell toward him, Lord Nityananda, he was totally unconscious. And then the children, they forgot the pastimes, what Nityananda Prabhu told earlier to them. So they are saying, okay, Nitai, please wake up. But Nityananda Prabhu is not waking up, because he told, you have to do this Leela, then I can only wake up. So they are now getting so frightened. Nitai, 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 Nitai. So they started crying. Oh no, he's not waking up. And they were crying so loudly, because Nityananda Prabhu was the heart and soul for all of the villagers of the Ekchakra Dham. So then, by hearing their crying, all of the villagers, including the father and mother, parents of Nityananda Prabhu, they all together came, and they also started crying, because Nityananda Prabhu, he is totally unconscious, and they also felt unconscious, because Nityananda Prabhu was the prana of all of the living entities. So then one child remembered, oh, all of us, we forgot what Nityananda told earlier. One of us should be the Hanuman and should bring some jhadipoti. In Bengali it's called jhadipoti, like some leaves, as Hanuman was bringing in the pastimes of Lord Rama. He was bringing the medication for the Lord Lakshmana to cure him. So then they collect some leaves from nearby jungle, and they put it in the nose of the Nityananda Prabhu, and immediately you wake up. So then everyone started clapping. Oh, Haribol, Haribol. So this is so nice pastimes, especially Vrindavan Das Thakur. He was a special soul. He was a special soul, and he wrote this Chaitanya Bhagavat. He was the son of Narayani. It is stated there, Narayani Mahaprabhur Uttishta Bhajan Tar Garve Janmilen Das Brindavan. Narayani, he was qualified to take the remnant from the plate of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was a nice pastime actually. So when Mahaprabhu expressed his Mahaprakash Leela, so he was saying, everyone, okay, what do you want? What do you want? So he was giving this mercy to everyone. And one time he was, the disturbance was happening in the Navadvip, and the devotees were being criticized and humored and mocked by the so-called Brahmanas. So what Srivas Thakur was doing, he was closing the door, and he was worshipping the Lord Narasimhadev Shalagram Shila, and he was crying, oh dear Lord, please save us, so that by your mercy you can continue the chanting of Sankirtan, we can continue the Sankirtan. So he was praying so heartedly. Then immediately Lord Chaitanya came, and he was knocking at the door. He was knocking at the door. Srivash, Srivash, Srivash. And he was really furious also. And he was asking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he was asking to Srivash, whom are you worshipping? So Srivash is saying, oh my dear Lord, I am worshipping Lord Narasimhadev. Why you are worshipping Lord Narasimhadev? Because you want the protection from Chandkazi and so-called Brahmanas. Those are giving pain to us. Those are giving disturbances in our Sankirtan. So Lord Chaitanya told, now look at me, you see who am I? And he expressed his form as Lord Narasimhadev. And Srivas was so happy and ecstatic, and he gave his prostrate Dandavat obeisances to Lord Chaitanya, and he told, okay, you don't worry, Srivas. Now I am here. I will kill everyone if anyone will try to make disturbances in the holy name. So still Srivas Thakur, he was convinced, but to prove this, so he called, okay, you call all of the childrens and every members of your family. So Narayani was the niece of Srivas Thakur, and to prove this, to bring the determination into the heart of the Srivas Thakur, he told Narayani, Narayani Krishna Balekanda. It is stated like this. So now Narayani, you start crying in ecstasy by uttering the name of Krishna, and immediately in front of all of them, Narayani was very small child. He started in full ecstasy. She started crying for the Lord, and she started rolling on the ground and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Narayani was got a special mercy from Lord Chaitanya, and it is stated by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita while mentioning about Vrindavan Das Thakur, that Vrindavan Das Thakur, he stated and described some of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda in a details form. So don't make my book so very big. I don't want to describe these leelas in a details version. Rather than I will describe them in a nutshell, so that I can describe some other leelas that was not described by Vrindavan Das Thakur and some other previous writers. I can describe these leelas in a great details. So there he is describing this Narayani Chaitanya Uttishta Bhajan Tar Garbhe Janmilen Dash Vrindavan. Narayani was taking the remnant from the plate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Tar Garbhe Janmilen Dash Vrindavan, and in her home Vrindavan Das Thakur got born. And then he was saying Vrindavan Das Thakur was the incarnation of Lord Veshadeva. Manushya Ruchitanare Oiche Grantha Dhanna Vrindavan Das Mukhe Bhakta Sri Chaitanya. The ordinary man can never write this kind of book like Chaitanya Bhagavat. Manushya Ruchitanare Oiche Grantha Dhanna. This is so famous and so ecstatic book. Vrindavan Das Mukhe Bhakta Sri Chaitanya. In the mouth of the Vrindavan Das Thakur, actually Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was writing himself. And thus he was describing how Vrindavan Das Thakur was so famous. And in this connection, we can describe how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and today is his disappearance. So how he was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, and actually in Bangladesh, our maternal tongue is Bengali. So if anyone want to do PhD, that is the topmost education, we all know. So if anyone want to do PhD in Bangla language, then Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Gita, and actually the Chaitanya Charitamrita is the toppest version. That is the topmost version of the study for doing the PhD degree. Because the language and the style of the writing was so elevated, and structurally also they are manufactured in so nicely, that is considered the topmost Bengali language. Even to be honest, some of this version is unknown to us. Some of the words even we can't understand. Sometimes we see, especially me, many times I see from Vedaves, what is the translation of English? What is the English translation of this? So he was so famous. But what he was saying? He was saying, Nityananda, Gauranga. So what he was saying, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was saying, আমি বৃদ্ধা জরা তুর লিখিতে কাপয়ে কর মনে কিছু স্মরণ না হয় আমি বৃদ্ধ জরাতুর I am an old aged man লিখিতে কাপয়ে কর my hand is trembling while I am writing মনে কিছু স্মরণ না হয় I can't remember anything না দেখিয়ে নয়নে না শুনি এ শ্রবণে তবু লিখি এই বড় বিস্ময় I can't see properly I can't hear properly still I am writing it's a great matter of surprise how it's possible so he's saying that I am an old man I am an aged man I can't remember anything na dekhiye nayane I can't see by my eyes I can't hear properly by my ears but still I am writing it's only the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and before writing we can say also today's disappearance of the Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So he was actually the disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami. So both of them, Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, both of them are the two prominent Goswamis of the Vrindavan, disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was the disciple of Raghunath Das Goswami, if I am not mistaken. And Raghunath Das Goswami actually explained in details how to write these books, this book Chaitanya Charitamrita, and what are the pastimes happened in these connections of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and how to write this. He was giving the personal instruction. So while getting the instruction, after getting the instruction from Raghunath Das Goswami and taking the blessing all of the Vaishnavas, the humility he showed actually, that was totally magnific. And for getting the blessing from Radha Madan Mohan, it was Radha Madan Mohan, Vigadashi Prabhu? Huh?
Blessings, yes.
Radha Madan Mohan, the garland was dropped from Radha Madan Mohan. So he went to there to see the Radha Madan Mohan, and he was meditating for the blessing of Radha Madan Mohan, and immediately the garland was dropped from the throat of the Radha Madan Mohan, and the pujari, he took this garland and he gave it on the neck of the Goswami. And in the finishing of the every chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was writing like this: Rupa Raghunath Pade Jarayash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahi Krishna Das. So he was begging the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. So especially and also while remembering these pastimes, today here also we see the connections of all of the Nityananda Prabhu's associate and all of the associates of the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One special quality that we should belong, especially in this age. His Holiness Bhakti Paribrajak Swami Maharaj, one of the Sannyashi disciple of our Guru Maharaj, he was saying that today in this age of Kali, what is the special quality, what is the topmost austerity for the devotees of ISKCON is to cultivate this quality of having a good behavior with each other. And Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in his last pastimes, he mentioned that if you really love me, you should cooperate with each other. To be honest, that is the most important criteria. Now, if we think about the austerity, it's totally almost impossible for us to do the fasting or something like that, especially like many devotees, they have so many physical and mental problems because of the chemicals and hormonal reactions going on in our mind and body. It's very tough because the food matters, these are not pure. All of the materials are totally adulterated and contaminated. So the food that is giving the reactions in our body, according to the Ayurveda, food are taken not as food, as like medication. So if we take the food properly and in proper time, Srila Prabhupada told that never you will get disease. But the problem is, even nowadays, if you get the foods at right time, at the right food, but still you'll get disease because the food is adulterated. all of them are inorganic, and putting the chemicals and making them like so funny things in our country. One day, Janitai Shatshut, Jagannath Baldeshwara Maharani Radha Parishishwara King. Today, Nitai Shatshut and all of the deities looks very, very smart because their outfit is so fit. No? So coming to the point, so in our country, one farmer, he was selling ananas. What is the English of ananas? Pineapple. So he was selling pineapple. So okay, we will mix it, no problem. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is told Tadbhag Vishargajanataga Viplab Dishmin Pradishtakam Abhaddhavate Api Namani Anantashe Ankitani Jat Shunnanti Gayanti Grananti Sadhava. If Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitamrita, all of this transcendental literature is spoken or written in a form where it is not pure in the written or spoken from, still it doesn't matter. If there is problem in language, still those who are Shunnanti Gayanti Grananti Sadhava, those who are sadhu, they are still always eager to learn this, hear this, because the language is not a barrier in these transcendental matters. So this farmer, he was selling pineapples, and interestingly, he was selling the pineapple that was looking so big, looking so nice, and in his own bag there was some pineapples. These are very little in size and looks a little bit dried. So someone was asking, so what's the difference between these two kinds of pineapple? So he told, this pineapples in my bag, this is for me and for my family, and these pineapples are big in size, these are for selling. So they say he was asked, but why this discrimination? So he told, these pineapples I gave chemicals and fertilizers to make this nice looking, but these are without any fertilizer, without any insecticide. These are grown very naturally. So these are for my family and for me. So that's the condition. So we are saying this point, that is the most austerity in this Kali Yuga, to have a good behavior with the devotees, to keep a good relationship with others, to keep even a good relationship with the materialistic person. Sometimes, especially when previously I was in the university in 2013. So still I got this misconception to avoid the material association, thinking, okay, we should avoid the material students like this, and we are putting the tilak so nicely, and we are putting our Kantimala threefold in a tight form, and we are going there, and no students are taking our association. We are also thinking, okay, it's good, it's good for us also. But later we were chastised by the counselors, and we also recognized this point, that we should have a good relationship with them also. Of course, we should not discuss the nonsense matters they are interested to. Rather than we should we should infect them, not should be infected by them. Like sometimes they always like to discuss something nonsense that we are not generally interested as a devotees. But we should put our interest, we should also make our presentation in a nice way, so that they also got interested in the topics that we like. Like Radhashyam Prabhu, His Grace Radhashyam Prabhu, he told, 3 points are especially necessary for the devotees to be a good preacher. That may be very practical in our practical life as preaching, in terms of preaching. One is Bhakti Shakti. Bhakti Shakti means we should have bhakti inside ourselves. Krishna Shakti bininahe tahar pravartan. Without being empowered by Lord Krishna. If someone has some power, a little bit, maybe a little trance, or in a big amount like Srila Prabhupada, because the capacity of each and everyone is different from others. Like some birds, they are capable of flying from one tree to other tree. Some are so powerful, they can cross from one continent to another continent. But there is difference in terms of capacity. So in terms of preaching capacity also, we have different capacity among ourselves. So whatever the capacity we belongs to, that is the mercy of the devotees and Krishna. Krishna Shakti Bininohe Tahar Pravartan. That is not my conclusion, that is the conclusion from the scripture. Without being empowered from Lord Krishna, no one can express this Krishna consciousness to others. So we should have this Bhakti Shakti. Otherwise, we can't preach. And there is a nice example and an instance we can find from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So while both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they are creating. So while Brahma was creating, so many times we see in the Srimad Bhagavatam that he, after creating the Rakshasa and Daksha, some of them told, okay, now we want to eat you. And they came to forward Brahma to eat him. And some of them came to do the sexual relationship with him. So we see the homosexual tendency was still there from the very beginning. So Brahma at first, he didn't care about it. He was thinking, okay, it's maybe they're just making fun. And later he saw, no, they're very serious. Some of them are coming to grasp him. And some of them are coming to make some illegal relationship with him. Then Brahma immediately gave up his body. That means gave up his subtle body to create in a new generations. So then Brahma thought, okay, it's not a good idea to create like this. Then he started to meditation. He started to meditate. And after doing the meditation, then he started creating the different Manus, his sons, Chatushkamaras, and like Narad Muni. So without the mercy of Krishna, without doing meditation, without getting this Bhakti Shakti, it's impossible to preach to others. Otherwise, because the person whom we are preaching, he will be a carbon copy of us. The mentality we are bearing, the same mentality will be transferred to him. Like if we teach our persons to do some duplicacy, to behave others in a bad manner, not being serious in Krishna consciousness, the same person will be like in that way. Because that will never, maybe sometime we can dilute our philosophy to make them please, but it will never act properly, because this will only create disturbance in later. And that's why it is stated, Shruti, Sriti, Pancharatri Viding Vina, Ekantika Harir Bhakti, Utpatena Kalpate. Without following the Shruti, Sriti, Pancharatra, all of these scriptures, if we want to preach to others, without this, it will just create the disturbance. Utpatena Kalpate. So first one is Bhakti Shakti, then the second one is Priti Lakshanam. Priti Lakshana means having a good relationship amongst the preacher and amongst the persons to whom we are preaching. Like if we don't have a good relationship with the preachers, then there will be problem, and we will never be able to come to a certain point in terms of agreement. Then one will think, okay, no, I want this. The another will think, no, I want this. But we can sometimes, that's a very good point, speaking or saying or proposing an opposite proposal. That doesn't mean that we have to be like opposition of that person, or we have to be angry, or we have to break up the relation with that person. We can put our opposition, we can put our opposite opinion to others, being humble. Like for example, if someone, even to the senior or junior, who may be, if someone gives some proposal, okay, let's do this, and if you think from your notion, you are thinking maybe it's not a good idea, then you can propose him in humbly that your proposal is nice, but I think from my point of view, maybe it's not a good idea because of this and this and this. Then that person will not be get offended also, and he will think, okay, he's very humble, and humbly he is proposing the proposal. Then there will be a good relationship. And to be honest, if we don't have the good relationship amongst the preacher, then how can we expect some good members from the community, from the persons, from the material world to whom we are preaching? So that's why having a good relationship is one of the most prominent quality a preacher should possess. Then the third one is skill. Sometimes we may think that okay, skill is not necessary, and like in our Janmashtami program, Maharaj was not happy. And Maharaj was saying, "Who heard this guy is singing out of tune?" And to be honest, Maharaj was asking me for 3-4 times. And from his Besaswan also he was saying, I was so disturbed, and he was looking at me and I was looking down. Maharaj, it's not me who selected them. But I can't say this except, okay, I have to accept it. So sometimes we may think, okay, the holy name of Krishna, anyone can say, because Prabhupada also told that, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told that, Chare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna upadesh, amar aggai, guru hoya, tara hoidesh. And he told, okay, anyone and everyone, Chare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna upadesh. So you can be, Prabhupada told that in many times, you can be also guru, just by saying this, Chare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna upadesh. And then you will be a guru. And so it seems very simple, and that's very simple also. But to be honest, material people, most of the cases, they are getting attracted not by the holy name in their first time. Most of them, they are getting attracted by our playing. Some of them may be attracted by our singing tune. Oh, you sang so nice. One day, one Mataji told a devotee who is singing nicely, he told, you know, Prabhu, only to hear your holy name, Kirtan, I miss my bass. I'm so the devotee, so okay, it's your grace only, Mataji. So you see, yeah, most of the time you will hear this. And one day, one devotee tell another devotee, one newcomer, he told another devotee, Prabhu, you know, your playing Vedanga was so nice. So I am really getting attracted to your playing Vedanga. So that devotee was saying, okay, you bless me so that I can please you more and more. So like most of the cases, they get attracted by these qualities. And later, when they come to the temple and they feel satisfaction, they get some happiness, day by day they get attracted and they feel, okay, now it's not the real purpose. Real purpose is to get attracted to the holy name. So to attract them, in some cases, not in some cases, in many cases, but in some rare exception also be there, like while there is no good singer, good speaker, then whatever we are, we have to also carry on. Because we can't say that, okay, I am not a good singer, now don't do Harinam. No, at least that time we have to do it. But otherwise, we also do everything very, like from the point of skill, we have to be professional, not from the point of mood. From the point of mood, we have to be a good devotee, good devotion, but from the point of skill, we have to be just like professional. Our flyer should not be like nonsense, or someone can put their finger to us. What is this? It's not so good. Whatever we are doing, even it's maybe a simple task, we should give our 100%. His Holiness Janananda Goswami also saying this. At least we can put our 100% endeavor. So from our part, it's, to be honest, it gives so much satisfaction in us, because we think, okay, at least I did my 100%. Now if it's successful, okay, that's good. If it's not, I have nothing to worry, because from my part, nothing else is remaining, because I did my 100% to accomplish it. So thus we can feel satisfaction. That is my point of view, and Maharaj also agreed with that. So the 3 point, that is, I always try to mention this in most of the cases. More or less everyone of us, we are doing preaching. So we should always remember these 3 points very nicely, whether we are doing the bhakti nicely, bhakti shakti, whether we are keeping the good relationship among the preachers. Sometimes you will see there is some problem creating among the devotees. So we should, our Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj told, you should keep it down, you should neglect it, just to see if I raise this, there will be so much big problem, then our whole preaching program will be destroyed. To remain this big purpose intact, refresh or active, we should neglect the other points. Sometimes we have to take some one day one devotee was giving lecture to the newcomers, and another devotee was a little bit feeling jealous to him. So while reciting the verse, he did some mistake, and the other devotee who was also hearing, brahmachari, he immediately told, "You are speculating from your mind. You are not reciting the verse nicely." And the other guys were thinking, "Wow, something is going on between them." They can easily understand, because it's nothing, struggling point to understand, because they have also the intelligence. So they understood, okay, something is going on. Then they will create the separation. Okay, then they will be also divided in two parts. To whom if he is a good man, then he will think, okay, this guy looks very more devoted, okay, then follow him. And if he has some, he's not a good devotee, he has some material interest, then he will think, okay, among these two, this one is satisfying me, he is always keeping prasadam for me, okay, then let's follow him. Then they will be also separated among themselves. So that's why, even if there is some mistake or some problem, later maybe we can talk it personally, or we can talk it in a group with our senior. But in front of the other devotees or newcomers, we should, even in the midst of the Vaishnavas also, we should keep quiet. Later we can say it personally, or we can have a discussion with that person who is the recommended person to make a solution for that devotee. I got a nice experience about this in Bangladesh while His Holiness Bhaktichari Swami Maharaj was there. So one Bengali devotee was translating the lecture of Brajabilash Prabhu. So Brajabilash Prabhu, he was saying his English a little bit like in a different accent. So this guy, he was not so expert in this accent, so he was doing the wrong translation. So me and some other devotees, we are standing behind, we are thinking, oh, what he is doing, he is not doing the right translation. But we see Bhaktichari Swami Maharaj, he is from Bengal, and he is very expert in Bengali, very expert. So he also very expert in German language and English. We saw he was so calm and quiet, totally thunkil. He was saying nothing. But though he was saying to the devotees that he is doing mistake, he was saying nothing. And later, when his time came for speaking, so he told like this way, I don't know whether you have understood what Brajabilas told. He was saying in Bengali. He was speaking in Bengali. So I don't understood what actually Brajabilas Prabhu told. You understood it or not? He doesn't say anything. This guy was translating like he was not translating properly. Then I got this realization. Just see the mood of the devotees. Like we was thinking, what this guy is doing? He's doing the wrong translation. But Maharaj was saying in this way. He was saying in a different way. Maybe I'm not sure whether you understood what Brajabilas told. So see the different attitude of the Mahatmas and like the fallen soul like me. So I want to stop here, and I just want to say one more thing. There are many Raghunath we see. Today also we find one Raghunath Vaidya. We know mostly two pharmacists, two doctors in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila. One was Murari Gupta, who was the incarnation of Hanuman. And we see one Raghunath Vaidya here. So Vaidya means doctor in Bengali. And we see one Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, I think he didn't wrote, am I saying the right? I have to check, of course, who was him, Raghunath Das or Raghunath Vaidya. Sorry, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So it's very, very elaborate discussion it will be if we discuss one of these great devotees, their life styles. There are so many things to learn, so many things to discuss, but we don't have enough time, because it's also good idea to stop in the right time. It's also etiquette. And so I just want to mention a few points about the Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatto Goswami. Like Raghunath Das Goswami, uh, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was famously known as Prayajan Acharya. We know Sambandha Videya Prayajan. Prayajan means Prema Acharya. He was famous for Krishna Prema. And he wrote some books like Manashiksha, Bilap, Kushumanjali, and something like this. Manashiksha, it's a book about chastising, criticizing the mind, and developing the this good attitude, how mind can be corrected and properly engaged in the service of Krishna. While the other son, that means Raghunath Bhatto Goswami, he didn't wrote any book, but he was famous for reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was so famous just by hearing his recitation, people were getting so amused, and they became the devotees of Krishna. So each and every one, Brahmanda, Tarita Shakti, Dhare Jane Jane, each and every one of the associate of Lord Sri Chaitanya, they has this power to deliver the whole world. They can deliver the whole world. And we got this praman. We got this praman from the scripture. It was Vasudev Ghosh who told to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please give all of the sins of this. Vasudev Datta actually, he was the incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. He told, give all of the sins, all of the people of this material world to me, and just deliver them. And there was question arise, then all of the 3 worlds in the 14 bhuvan in the, maybe we know the Satyalok, Bhuva Satya Janatapa, like this, and also in the ground until the Naraka. All of the living creatures delivered at that time, all of them. And later the whole universe was filled from some other universe, living entities from some other universe. So they have this power. So that's the point I wanted to say. And before conclusion, I just want to have a recap for 1 minute, because I have so slow brain, otherwise I will forget that. So we discussed about Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, about Vrindavan Das Thakur, how both of them, each other, they were praising each other, and how the humility they shows. And then how the humility was shown by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He was saying, I'm blind, can't hear properly, hand is trembling, still I'm writing. How it can be? By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of the devotees. And Raghunath Das Goswami was instructing him personally to write, and he described the pastimes that was famous, that was known to him. And later we discussed how in this age of Koli, the topmost austerity to have a good relation with the devotees. Sometimes we have to be tolerant to have a good relation